This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, Wendy. It's really my privilege of mine to be chatting and interviewing Wendy today. Wendy is the Chief Executive of an amazing charity called Faces, a charity which I've been supporting for about 6 years now, doing business planning and bits and pieces. But I have to say that's nothing compared to what Wendy, her team, and all the amazing volunteers do every day. Today we're launching an appeal for anybody that has got access to old laptops with power cables to donate them to children who are really struggling at this time, who haven't got access to technology. But I'm going to hand over to Wendy now to tell you a little bit more about who she is and what Faces does for the children and families that they work with. Wendy.
Hiya, hi Sarah. Hello. Well, Faces is an independent local charity. Faces is an acronym for Family and Children's Early Help Services, and that's exactly what we try and do. We try and deliver early help before the crisis really hits. We are an award-winning charity. Last year we won the Queen's Award for Voluntary Services, which we're amazingly proud of. We have a massive team of volunteers, all fully trained, who help us to provide our services. So our overheads are very low and we respond very quickly to any gaps in the local community where we think we can create a service to fill that gap. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, and I know that the families locally really love what you're doing. We hear lots about all the great outcomes that you're achieving for them. But if you could tell us a little bit more about the current challenges with COVID-19 and what that's presenting in terms of challenges both for your families and how you're supporting them during this time.
Of course. Well, every family we support during what I would say normal times are disadvantaged or marginalised in some way. So add that to what's happening at the moment is causing a huge crisis for them. And this crisis is financial, but it's also emotional. We have parents living in flats with 3 small children with no access to outside. So really difficult situations. And this isn't just families on benefits, although obviously they are struggling more at the moment because their children are home all day. It's costing them an awful lot more. They would normally access free school meals. They're having to provide food all day long, and obviously the extra gas and electricity. But a lot of our families are working and they've suddenly lost their income. An awful lot of our families are working with 0 contract hours. So overnight things have changed for them. They then have to go through the process of probably accessing benefits for the first time, and universal credit is taking a very long time to come through. So there's this gap of about 8 weeks where they literally have nothing. So we've been providing emergency services to them. We've also been providing a lot of emotional support. Every single one of the families we support gets a telephone call every week, and they also know they can call us anytime. So we're supporting them as well as we can do remotely.
Thank you. I'm always amazed when I listen to the stories about how you and the volunteers and all of your team, just give up your time selflessly. I think, sometimes when you've come from a different world, a different environment, it's so hard to understand all the challenges that people are having. And obviously, in our world, in sort of the world that I work in, we talk a lot to people in technology, and for the first time ever I feel like we can actually perhaps do something to help the charity a little bit rather than just doing a little bit of business planning. So perhaps you can tell us a bit more specifically now about the challenges that your families have with access to technology and how it's affecting the education of the children within the families.
Of course, yes, I've been getting some really sad phone calls from parents who just don't know what to do. They haven't got access to schoolwork. They can't access schoolwork. Many of our families will have a mobile phone, but that data is usually shared for the whole family. So there's very little in terms of accessing proper laptop or a proper PC. And obviously that puts these already disadvantaged children and young people at more disadvantage, because they are going to fall behind. When this is over and they return to school, they are going to be significantly at a disadvantage because of this.
Mm-hmm. So having access to a laptop so they can do that work, that would make a massive difference, wouldn't it, to their futures?
Absolutely.
Really.
It would make a massive difference, and it's about self-esteem. It's about, and actually our world revolves around technology now. Everything is accessed through technology, and these children, and this is a project that I would really like to continue. It's something that's been worrying me for some years, but of course the COVID crisis has really brought it to the head. All of a sudden, within a moment, all the children were suddenly needing to access schoolwork from home. So this is something that I want to do long term, but certainly I'm getting inundated with phone calls from families just desperately wanting to access one of these reconditioned laptops.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that the whole world has just suddenly had to go online overnight, and I can't imagine what it must be like to people that haven't got access to that. And that's one of the reasons that I really wanted to get Layer 8 and the whole sort of community that we're involved in onto this effectively, because I know that people in our world will have these drawers full of cables and wires, a load of kind of old laptops that perhaps aren't the greatest spec in the world, because of course we like to look at what's the latest, etc. But actually they're still fit for purpose, and that's what we're kind of calling out for today and over the next few months at least, is if you would like to get involved, if you've got something that's in your drawer that you are perhaps saving for a rainy day that you could donate to this cause, then please do. We will be really grateful, and I know that your families will be very grateful.
Absolutely, yes.
There's some great stories of things that I know that we've donated in the past, and how grateful the families are to receive those sorts of things. If you want to get involved, a couple of things to note. A laptop is what we need. These people haven't got, also the families haven't got space to have big computers. We can't transport the big computers, so a laptop with a power cable is really important. Again, phones and tablets aren't really useful at this point, because we can't access schoolwork and the types of resources that people are, the teachers are providing. So it's laptops with a power supply that are what we need. People can email, and you should be able to see it on the screen, Tech4Children, so Tech4Children at layer8ltd.co.uk. My team will then send instructions of how people can package the laptop up, where to send it, and also what to reset the password to. I know you guys are all techies, so you probably will already have reset it to factory settings. If you can't do that, then we will be doing that for you, making sure all the data's gone, and we'll be installing the new software. The other thing that I know that Wendy has got a provision for is paying for any postage and packaging, if I could say that. If you would like that repaid, then we can do that as well. So yeah, come on guys, get donating. I know you've got lots of things there, and thank you so much, Wendy.
And thank you very much, and thank you for supporting us with this project.
You're welcome.